What's up, YouTube? Welcome or welcome back to the Saving Men's Lives Network, where all men and boys are welcome and our issues are treated with the respect that they deserve, where excellence is our goal and our enemies are called out by their names. Place to remind you that you are loved, that you do have intrinsic value, and suggest that you do yourself no harm. Today, fellas, I wanted to discuss with you an extension of the last video I did, talking about the hypergamous nature that exists naturally inside of every woman. It's something they simply cannot help. Although, to be fair here, because that's what we aim for, the best women that men have to choose from do at least take the opportunity to exercise the impulse control necessary to fight that impulse for the sake of protecting their families and preserving their relationships. The rest of them, well, if you can count, that means you can do the math. Well over 70% of all divorces in the industrialized first world are the wife's idea. This skyrockets to 90% of the time if that woman has spent any time in college, let alone if she stayed there long enough to get a degree. For all my college guys watching, and there's this girl on campus you like and you maybe kicking it with her and the vibe seems cool, you thinking about marrying her, understand that piece of paper they're going to give her in 2, 4, 6, or 8 years is going to be a ticking time bomb that you may have to deal with at a very expensive point in the future. You're going to do what you're going to do. And I value free will here at the Saving Men's Lives Network. So again, you're going to do what you're going to do. But I caution you to stay as far away from college-educated women as you possibly can if you want your marriage to last. So, side note, I want to discuss a topic known very strongly in the red pill manosphere spaces as monkey branching. Now, some of you have never heard this term before, and that's fine. Every one of you have at least seen it in action. The term comes from actual monkeys out in the actual jungle and how they maneuver through the treetops. Basically, it works like this. A monkey will have a firm grip on a branch, but they will reach out for another branch. The monkey, in their protection instinct inside their own brain, because they don't want to hurtle to the forest floor and hurt themselves or kill themselves, they won't let go of that first branch that they have a firm grip on until they have a firm grip on the second branch and they can let go. Women are very similar to this concept in their dating/mating strategy. As mentioned before, women have a dual, meaning two-part dating strategy. And it comes down to this. And I'll include us for a second to make the point. Women want the highest income earning, highest social status guy they can attract through their face, through their body, through their sexual activity. Men want the most attractive, cooperative woman that we can afford. That's the sexual social dynamic. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked, even though it's somewhat controversial in today's time to say it out loud. Well, in light of that, what women will normally do, and this is especially true in high school and college, and for my fellas out there, first, second year in the military, you've watched it happen a million times. You've probably been on the receiving end of this at some point. The monkey branching works like this. She's got a boyfriend. She's got a guy she's talking to, maybe a husband or fiance even. But for whatever reason, she decides he's not sufficient enough. Maybe he's put on a couple pounds. Maybe he's working too much at the office, even though he's working too much at the office to try to make a life for you. But okay, fine. Maybe he's not working enough. Maybe they cut his hours back at the factory. Who knows? Or here's one. Maybe she got a haircut or a hairdo, her hair highlighted, God knows. And he didn't notice, or he didn't notice fast enough. But at her job, Todd from accounting said, "Hey, Susie, nice hairdo." thanks, Todd. And now all of a sudden, Todd is prevalent in her mind. Now, Todd hasn't done for her what you've done for her. He hasn't been there for her during those times where she needed somebody to be there for, like you have. He's not invested at all. But he is a shiny new object. And we've already discussed on this channel about shiny object syndrome. So, let's keep using Todd, because that happens a lot. They start talking way more than they ever did, because they never really socialized before, but now they're socializing now. Todd's a good-looking guy. He's making decent money. You know, he's got a nice car in the parking lot. And he noticed her nice new hairdo when you didn't, or you took too long to notice. And so now, Todd has gone from just coworker at the business, at the office, at the store, and now Todd has graduated to work husband. They're laughing. They've got inside jokes. And strangely enough, she's becoming more and more of a behavior problem at the house. She's not as cooperative. She's a lot more combative and argumentative. And you, having done nothing wrong, are trying to figure out what in the world is going on here. What happened to my sweet, wonderful girlfriend, fiance, or wife? Well, what happens is she's becoming this person you barely recognize. She's fault-finding. She's name-calling. She's nitpicking. You don't recognize this person. If she thinks this new guy, in this example, Todd from accounting, is a better option, for whatever reason she invented in her mind to think that, she will then turn up the heat. She will increase her problematic behavior. And this is strategic, gentlemen. I cannot repeat this enough. There's a plan here. The plan is to get you to break up with her so two things can happen. A, she gets the free victim points on social media. That good old electronic sympathy. Oh, girl, you deserve better than that. I'm glad you left him, girl. He sounded like a monster. So forth and so on. And B, she can hit Todd up, swing by his house, and do what she's been planning to do for the past 5 months. All justified because you broke up with her for, quote, no good reason. It's a time-honored, time-tested strategy, fellas. Now, depending on what kind of guy Todd is, he's going to either want to fight you because she's told him anything and everything about you. She's painted you in this picture. You're just the worst person to ever walk this earth. Or he's just going to smash. Because that's what he's been wanting to do for the whole time anyway. And now he got his opportunity. I mean, she came right to his front door. The dress she's wearing barely qualifies to keep her from getting arrested for indecent exposure. Why wouldn't he invite her in, pour her a drink, and go from there? Why wouldn't he? She served it to him on a silver platter. Fellas, to all my young guys especially, but to everybody, in this cesspool called the Western modern dating world, especially out here in the Tinderverse, the young women we have left to pick from, the scraps up underneath the relationship table. You're going to be either one of three guys, fellas, and you got to be comfortable and pick one. Unless you plan to grab your passport and go somewhere into the third world where they still behave like women. If you want to date here in America, Canada, I would imagine, I haven't been up there, but I've heard stories, the UK, the Western nations of the EU, Australia, Japan. If you want to date in those war zones, you, my friend, are going to be one of three different guys. You're going to be either A, the guy she's cheating on, B, the guy she's cheating with, or C, the guy she's grooming, like Todd from accounting, to be the guy she monkey branches to when she sabotages her relationship, her engagement, or her marriage. Women are never single until they hit the wall. As long as she still got some of her looks, some of her body, and is 80% out of 100 willing to put out, she will always have some guy who's thirsty as hell who will gladly oblige her. And she's waiting for you to make any mistake to give her the justification, finger quotes in the air, to do so. You got to decide which one of those three guys you want to be. Although there is a fourth option that's growing in popularity by leaps and bounds every day. You know, it's an acronym spelled MGTOW. Stands for men going their own way, or in some cases, men guarding their own wallets. These are guys who've said, you know what? My time, my attention, my money is much better spent chasing my own hobbies, chasing my own interests, things I've always wanted to do and didn't get a chance to do because my girlfriend or my wife or my fiance didn't want to do it. She didn't like going to these places I love to go. She didn't like these activities I love to participate in. And now that she's gone, I now have my time back. I now have my money back. I can go and pursue these things. And I applaud those guys. Because every man should put his concerns first. It's the men who put women up on pedestals and prioritize them over their own self-love and their own self-worth that end up getting chewed up like gum and spat out. And I don't want that to be you guys. You guys have lived your whole life under Disney's rules, that they all live happily ever after. Well, just because that's the last page of the book don't mean that's the last page of the story. Because we don't know what happened to the princess after the man decided to bring her up in status and bring her into the castle. We don't know how much of a headache she was. We don't know how much of a nightmare she became. Did she decide to start using sex as a weapon 3, 4, 5, 10 years or later down the road? We don't know. My advice to you fellas is as it always is. Pursue excellence. Get your ass in that gym. Pick up heavy stuff and put it back down. Drink your water. Build yourself up slowly but surely until the point you reach a gallon a day. Might take a couple weeks. For me, it took about 18 days for my body to fully absorb that much water in a 24-hour period. But my skin's never looked better. My energy level skyrocketed. I haven't had coffee in 6 months. Just saying. Eat your vegetables. Your mom was right. And for those of you guys like myself who eat meat as well, please choose the leanest cuts of meat that you can. If you physically can, trim the fat off before you start the cooking process. Lastly, find newer and more clever ways, hopefully legally, to make as much money as you can. Financial security equals two things: debt freedom and life options. If you're making money and you live in a crappy neighborhood, you know what? You soon will not have to live in that crappy neighborhood because you can afford to live elsewhere where folks know how to act. And you might be able to network with other successful people to raise your success up to an even higher level. I want that for you. But more importantly, I want you to want that for yourselves. Women are great when they're behaving themselves, when they aren't their liability. Your job as a man is to find out whatever female you're dealing with, which side of that ledger that she's on. Is she bringing value into your life, making it better than it was before you met her? Or do you cringe at the sound of her name in the conversation? Do you ball your fists up when your call ID shows her name on your phone when it rings? Never collect red flags, gentlemen. If you can do better, then do better. Anyway, it's my time, fellas. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon when it'll let you be notified when I drop a new video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And share this video with a friend or a family member who you think could benefit from what it is that we do here. Never let your brethren suffer in silence when the truth will set them free. Till next time, fellas, it's the Saving Men's Lives Network. Plenty more to come.